According to a report by the Institute for Policy Studies, the three wealthiest Americans, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Bill Gates, own more than the bottom 50% of the US population combined. But that's not the craziest thing. Did you know that in the United States, the top 10% of households held 70% of the country's wealth in 2020? That leaves 90% of households left owning just a mere 30% of the country's wealth. Which brings up a very important question. Why do most people have no money? In this video, we go over 10 reasons why most people have no money. In other words, why most people tend to find it difficult to save up. Cost of living. The cost of living is just too high nowadays. You've probably seen inflation start to take hold around you. Your food is more expensive, your fuel costs more, your bills are going up. If someone lives in an area with a high cost of living, their expenses may be higher than their income, leaving them with little money to save. Did you know that the cost of living in the United States has increased by 14% over the past decade, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics? This number is only going to increase with an ever-growing population. With so many people today, the price of living just continues to go up. Low income. Let's be honest, most jobs today don't pay enough. In 2021, the federal minimum was at $7.25 per hour, which equates to around an annual income of $15,000 for a full-time worker. For the average person, an annual income of $15,000 is too low to afford bills, rent, and today's food costs. If someone's income is low, they may struggle to cover basic expenses, let alone save. For example, if someone earns $30,000 per year and can save 10% of their after-tax income, it would take them approximately 23 years to save $100,000. This wouldn't suffice to even afford the world's top luxuries, and it would take a quarter of the average lifespan in the Western world to reach $100,000. Debt. It is very common today for people to owe money. You might have heard of Afterpay or Klarna. These two companies entice the consumer to go into debt for a potential interest-free transaction. You don't want to go into debt. If someone has a lot of debt, they may have little or no money left over to save. In fact, according to the Federal Reserve, it was found that the total household debt in the United States reached $15.9 trillion in the third quarter of 2021. Did you also know that the average American has $90,460 in debt? This includes mortgages, credit cards, and student loans, according to a credit report by Credit Karma. Lack of financial literacy. A lot of people just haven't been exposed to basic finance. In today's world, it is easy to get lost in your daily routine and forget to brush over some money-saving tips. Luckily, you made it to this video and are hopefully on your way to improving your financial literacy. If someone doesn't understand how to manage their money, they may struggle to save effectively. According to the Council for Economic Education, only 17 states in the United States require high school students to take personal finance courses. What's also worrying is that, according to a survey by the National Financial Educators Council, only 24% of millennials demonstrate basic financial literacy. Living paycheck to paycheck. The average person in the modern world is living paycheck to paycheck. There are reasons why some people are living paycheck to paycheck. We will get into those. But this is the unfortunate reality that a lot of us are stuck to. If someone is living paycheck to paycheck, they may not have any extra money to save. A survey by CareerBuilder found that 78% of American workers live paycheck to paycheck. With no money saved up, An emergency in future could prove to be very stressful. According to a survey by Bankrate, only 41% of Americans would be able to cover a $1,000 emergency expense with their savings. Lack of discipline. A lot of people struggle with their finances due to a lack of discipline. If someone lacks discipline or self-control, they may struggle to stick to a budget and save money. You can imagine it would be hard to save money when you are spending on things you don't need. A study by Bankrate found that 21% of Americans spend more money than they earn each month. This means that eventually, their situation might crumble if they don't get into check. A survey by the National Foundation for Credit Counseling found that 61% of Americans do not have a budget. You must understand your income and set aside a budget, specifically an allowance for yourself to spend on impulse. Job loss. We've all been there. Sometimes we don't see it coming, but being out of work can put you into a sticky financial situation. If someone loses their job, they may struggle to save money without a steady income. You need to have foresight of your employment and awareness that your livelihood depends on your income. During the COVID-19 pandemic, over 20 million Americans lost their jobs, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Those who turned to alternative sources before their reserves went out stayed afloat. You must build alternative sources of passive income. According to a survey by Bankrate, 66% of Americans don't have enough emergency savings to cover 6 months of expenses. It is risky to not have reserves, as you need a backup in case everything went downhill tomorrow. Medical expenses. A lot of people are subject to expensive medical fees, especially in countries where governments don't fund public health care. You can be slapped with astronomical fees for small procedures. According to a report by the Kaiser Family Foundation, the average annual premium for employer-sponsored health insurance in 2021 was $7,470 for single coverage and $21,342 for family coverage. Medical expenses can be very expensive, and without good insurance coverage, people may have difficulty saving money. A study by the Commonwealth Fund found that 46% of working-age Americans had problems paying medical bills or were in debt due to medical expenses in 2020. You do not want to be one of those people who do not have any money saved up for an unforeseen medical expense. That's why I personally try to avoid trouble in all avenues possible, a reason to be more conscientious about one's decisions perhaps. High taxes. In today's world, taxes play a big part of our lives. When we make money, we often neglect to factor in that part of it already belongs to the government. Taxes are definitely a reason why you should be more careful about your expenses. If someone's taxes are high, they may have less money to save. The top federal tax rate in the United States is currently 30% for income over $523,600 for individuals and $628,300 for married couples filling jointly. On the more normal side of the scale, the average American household pays over $8,000 in federal income taxes each year, according to the Tax Foundation. This is nearly a third of your wealth if you are only making $30,000 a year. Unexpected expenses. You should always be prepared for situations you don't expect. You might have heard of the term putting money away for a rainy day or something like that. Unexpected expenses such as car repairs or home repairs can make it difficult to save money. According to a survey by AAA, the average cost of a car repair in the United States is $500 to $600. A report by Home Advisor found that the average cost of a home repair in the United States is $385, but some repairs can cost thousands of dollars. Therefore, you should always put a fraction of your income into an investment as your backup. This is Preston's Passive Profits. If you liked our video and want weekly updated tips and information on money making in the modern world, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We had fun making this video and hope that you enjoyed watching. See you in the next one.